Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This Shabbos is a very special Shabbos, the week before Shavuot. Shavuot begins Monday, and we always read this Shabbos, Parshas Bamidbar, which means Bamidbar, literally in the desert. We read it before Shavuot, because in Shavuot we receive the Torah, and we receive the Ten Commandments which were given in the desert. In the desert, to teach us that the Torah belongs to each one of us. It doesn't belong to the rabbis, it doesn't belong to the observant, it belongs to every single Jew. And so therefore it was given in the desert. And please join us on Monday to receive the Ten Commandments. Again, at 11:30 a.m. 10 o'clock we're going to begin services, 11:30 the Ten Commandments, and 12 o'clock will be a grand Kiddush luncheon on our rooftop, as is customary on Shavuot, a dairy luncheon. But the actual word Bamidbar, we begin a new book this month. It's called, the Shabbat, it's called the Book of Numbers. It's Sefer HaPikudim. And the reason why it's called Sefer HaPikudim, the Book of Numbers, is because if you open it up, we're going to be counting. God is counting the Jewish people. He counts them once, He counts them twice, He counts them 3 times in the Torah. And He counts them, why does He count them? It says because He loves them. As you love something, you want to make sure you have every single one. If you have a certain amount of diamonds, you want to constantly count and make sure you have every single diamond. Hashem loves each one of us, and therefore He counts us in order to make sure that all of us are included. As the giving of a Torah, every single Jewish soul was there. And so it's interesting because as human beings, we're not allowed to count one another. It's forbidden. It's halacha. Jewish law says you're not allowed to count another Jew. And when we count for a minyan, we say not 1, not 2, not 3. And we count for, we say a phrase, Oshia esamecha, uvarech esnachasecha, urim benasim adolam, which equals up to 10 words. The amount for a quorum, the amount for a minyan. And so why is it that human beings can't count other human beings, whereas God can count? And the answer is quite obvious. When human beings count someone, God forbid, we can turn them into a number. Like the Nazis made a name be erased, made each Jewish man and woman and child have a number on their arm, and they became numbers. They lost their identity. Whereas when God counts us, while we are a single individual, He teaches about each one of us quality, because of His infinite love for every single one of us. He's able to infinitely love every single 3 million of the Jewish people that were there at the time that were counted. And so that is the difference in the way that God counts the Jewish people versus human beings count the Jewish people. But interesting is, even God, He knew exactly how many people were there. He knew how many people were there at the giving of the Torah. He knew how many people were there by the Mishkan. Why does He ask to be counted? And the answer is how He asked us to be counted. We don't get counted with a census. We get counted by giving a half-shekel coin, a matbea shel eish, a coin of fire. What we give, a fiery coin, when we give this coin, it represents our gift, our contribution to society, our contribution to the community. And this is what's so interesting about how God counts us. And it teaches us about, if you want to count the Jewish people, how you have to look at them. Because if you would count the Jewish people, you get very depressed, as we're just 14, 15 million Jews in the entire world of 7 billion. And so how could it be that even the Jewish people are following the Torah when there are billions of people following all other religions? And the answer is, don't look at our quantity, but look at our gift to the world. Look at our contributions to the gift to the world. 40% of Nobel Prize winners. These 2 vaccines that we just came out with, from Moderna to Pfizer, from the heads of the Jewish people. And we know all the contribution that's given to by the Jewish people to the world. And so when we count the Jewish people, we can't look at a number. We have to count at their contribution. We count at what our gift to our community is and our strength to the community. And especially right now, to strengthen our community and realize that every single individual is so holy and so powerful, as we are witnessing the terrible tragedy, what's going on in the land of Israel, with thousands of rockets being sent over our brothers and sisters. And God forbid we start looking at numbers and saying there was 200 Gazans killed and only 2 or 3 Jews, only 5 Jews, only 7 Jews, 7 Israelis. Every single Jew is an entire world. God is ready to count and 1 Jew is an entire world. In Baruch Hashem, in Israel, they'll never leave someone behind. They're ready to take on an entire country, an entire army, for 1 Jewish soldier, for 1 soldier that would be lost, God forbid. And so when we see that power of that love of brotherhood that we see in the land of Israel, and that brotherhood and sisterhood that they have, for the power of community, the power of community on one hand, on the other hand, they're individualistic. Each one of them are defined, and they don't, like the desert. Today we have fighting in the armies. We have from secular to observant, Torah observant, non-observant. Each one of us are fighting together, are unified for one goal, and that is to strengthen Am Yisrael, the nation of Israel. And so as we go into the Shabbos, the Parshas of Bamidbar, the Shabbos of Numbers, it's a Shabbos in which we have to strengthen ourselves and unite together, come together in shul. We're going to daven for our holy brothers and sisters in the land of Israel and all the soldiers, that may they have tremendous success and obliterate this issue that we have with Hamas in Gaza, shooting missiles into the land of Israel, and be time for safety and security. May it be very soon in our days that we'll be able to receive the Torah on this Monday, in the holiday of Shavuot, and Israel should be peaceful, and we should very soon not have any more death and issues in this world. With the coming of Mashiach, may it be very soon in our days. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach. See you Monday at 10 a.m., 11:30, the Ten Commandments, 12 o'clock, the Grand Kiddush Luncheon.